Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast.
Hey everyone, it's your good friend Eric Thompson. Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. We appreciate it. And we are so looking forward to this interview with an incredible ninja. It is Jackie Converse. Welcome to the podcast. So great to have you.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Jackie, start by just sharing where you're located and also the company that you're with.
So I'm in Dallas, Texas, and specifically in Highland Park. I am with Allie Beth Allman Associates. We are an affiliate of Berkshire Hathaway. Our firm is a boutique company, about 400 agents. We have 3 offices within North Texas, in Dallas, Lakewood, which is a neighborhood nearby, and Southlake.
And that is a highly productive boutique company.
Highly productive. So about 400 agents. And last year we did almost $4 billion in sales with just the 400 of us. Over 100 of us did over 10 million in sales. And this last first quarter, just now, we finished at $1 billion in sales.
It's an incredible company. You are having incredible results. The question we're going to answer in this podcast, everyone, is how do you have clients coming out of the woodwork? And the reason why we're making that the theme and the question, because Jackie said to me, Eric, I have clients coming out of the woodwork. And so we're going to talk about how to create that. And out of the woodwork, it can sound like it's happening on accident or just by happenstance. It's not. Jackie is doing some very intentional things. She's taking intentional action in order to create that. We're going to hear all about that from you, Jackie. First, we're going to celebrate some victories, some just incredible numbers. We are recording this in very early April 2026. And so essentially through the first quarter of the year, you've closed 13.9 million in volume just in the first few months of the year. Bravo. We are celebrating that. And an additional fun fact on top of that is that right at the end of 2025, Jackie, you closed a $3 million sale. So really in the span of 3 months and a few days, you're close to 17 million in volume. Right now, Jackie, you have 2 buyers under contract totaling 1.3 million in volume. And you have right now 15 million in listings. That's 15. Yes. Jackie, you have clients coming out of the woodwork.
Yes, that's a lot as you're explaining all of this. And it doesn't, it's great. I feel very lucky and my clients are dear to me. So it's special. You
clearly take amazing care of them. Let's just jump to one thing that's really working for you, because this is something that some people don't really understand. It can feel like a mystery. They question, how could this ever work? And it's working for you. And that's handwritten notes. Handwritten notes, you say, are a big part of your business. So tell us more about that.
When I did the installation and we were asked to write a couple every morning during that week, I realized how easy it is to write a note to people. And it became my favorite part of Ninja because I can write something to someone I hadn't talked to in a long time. And it was such a welcome thing to come in their mail to my people. And then it would inevitably, I would write something from the heart, whether it was a congratulations, I just saw this, or hey, we haven't talked in a long time. I've missed seeing your face, because whether we're kids are going in all directions now. And it would inevitably cause a text back to me to say, yes, oh my gosh, loved getting your sweet note. Let's definitely get together soon. And that makes me feel good. And I know it's making them feel good. So it just feels good all the way around and has nothing to do with real estate.
Nothing at all to do with real estate. So just a simple, it's been a while since we've connected. It would be great to catch up. Congratulations on something I saw, or I've been thinking about you. You get the text back. Then that leads to you getting together in person.
It's easy. It's simple.
How many are you writing on a weekly basis? And tell us about your routine in order to ensure that that's happening for you.
I got married at the end of last year, so my routine is a little off for 2026. But last year, I really tried very hard to write 10 a week. And I would follow the weekly agenda, which I love. because I can use my Remarkable and I can copy and paste from week to week and then just update so that my numbers were always there and I can update them and then add also my notes and who I was going to write to. And so I would get into my office after I dropped off my kids at school and sit down, write my affirmations, and then write my 2 notes. And that became a very easy way for me to just constantly stay on top of what I needed to do and wanted to do.
So you were pretty routine in the 10 notes a week that we coach that's part of the Ninja 9 and clearly worked for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Were you a note writer before
No.
Ninja?
No. It was an aspiration, but I needed a little kick in the rear to get it done. And Ninja has provided that for me.
And it's working. Something else that works for you, something that's part of your flow, is a weekly newsletter. And sometimes when we coach 3 touches a month in Ninja, the reaction is, oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's too much. Where there you are in your company is doing a weekly newsletter. So tell us about that.
There's about 350 people in my email database that receive it. I'd say about 22% open rate every week, but it's called the Weekly Almanac, and it is provided by my company. And then my assistant and I will take it and not send it right away automatically. We'll take it and write a little more personal and add my listings and my solds to just show what's going on.
Got it. So it's all real estate news. We offer that framework of either art or science, sometimes both. This sounds like, Jackie, this is a science piece.
It is.
So it's purely science. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, they're getting handwritten notes from you. So that's the art. So they get the art through the handwritten note. They get the science through the Weekly Almanac, 22% open rate.
This permission. Yes, for art and science. Yes.
If someone's thinking about doing this, it's essentially just curating real estate news. In addition, property specific new listings, closings, things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have fun with real estate reviews. Tell us how you do your real estate review strategy.
Well, I'm a perfectionist, and it was hard to get the real estate review done. And I knew Lisa had done her person with her coaching group the year before to do the October real estate review challenge. I was new then, so didn't participate. But this last year I did do it, and that actually has done well. People loved receiving them. I printed them here in my home, and I picked and chose what I liked about them and then added it in, and then added information about my new team members as well. So it kind of became a little bit of who I am and what I can provide. And here's the market snapshot for your neighborhood. One of my sales this year was a neighbor down the street who 10 years ago, when I moved on this block, was not going to use me. And I had heard that they were moving. And so I included them on my real estate review list and didn't know if they would use me or not. And then I try to give a Christmas gift of some sort. And in the past years, the local chef makes these caramels. They're called killer caramels, and they're widely known. And there's just a little box of 4 caramels, and I wrap a red ribbon around them with a gift tag on them and say Merry Christmas. So I did that as well. So in the span of a month and a half, they were getting a couple touches from me. And the next thing I knew, in January, I was out of town, and they said, Jackie, we want you to come list our house. I was like, what? Great. So the real estate reviews I do think work because I wasn't being pushy at all. I wasn't saying, hey, I want to list your house. I was just saying, here's some information.
Yeah, that's textbook. That's exactly how they're supposed to work. You're in flow. The flow is authentic for you. It's really working for you. Jackie, you said something really powerful when you and I were preparing. You said that Ninja has given me free license to be myself.
I love real estate. I've loved growing up in it. I've loved participating in it. I've loved helping people find their homes. I feel like it is absolutely life-changing. So it gives me free license to be myself because I can write a note to someone and it's not about real estate. It's about reconnecting or connecting. If I pick up the phone and call them, it's just to check in on them and see how was your spring break or what was going on, or has your kid chosen a college yet, because we're all in that season right now. it's an ability to send touches that aren't pushy. I'm not a pushy person, and I have always said that I'm not a salesperson. I just want to get people in their home and help with that negotiation process. And it's their biggest asset most of the time. So to be a part of that process is an honor. And I love it. So the way that Ninja is by just writing notes and sending things that aren't necessarily about real estate, I market myself a lot. I'm in newspapers and magazines, so they know what I do. I don't have to tell them.
So you let that marketing make it clear what you do, and then you can just be in relationship with them.
Yeah, that's real with me.
You work and have an average price that I think a lot of people aspire to. Can you think about ways that you broke into that market, and even tell us if you feel like it was breaking into, or did you kind of start at that price point? Because a lot of people dream about having the type of average price that you have. And so how did you do that?
I was divorced 12 years ago. I wanted to stay in the neighborhood where we were raising our kids. And so that is in the Park Cities, which is Highland Park and University Park in Dallas. And owning a home in this neighborhood was very important to me. And so I was already here. And then, of course, with 2021 price increases going nuts, that has also helped. Granted, I've continued to want to increase my price point because we didn't used to have $20 and $30 million deals, and I still have never had that sale. And there are more of those on the market and that have been selling with local buyers in our market than we've ever had. We do attribute that to a lot of California moving to Dallas and paying cash. And now local residents feel like, okay, even though there is no view, the dirt has increased enough. And so now local people are buying into those prices. But so to get into our neighborhood, a single family home is a $2.5 million for a 4-bedroom home or up. It's almost become a $3 million price point. So by living here and understanding what my clients' needs and wants are, I believe that helps a lot.
Yeah, you're there and you're in flow with those people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely. Tell us about networking groups that you're a part of that really get you in flow with those people, or other activities that are part of your routine that allow you to have live interaction with these people.
So I am a part of a couple of book clubs that I try to keep going regularly. Then I also, with my own business, I do a Thanksgiving pie pickup. I've heard it talked about on the podcast previously that I have started doing. I've done it for 2 years now. I do an Evite invitation to select your pie, and whatever pie you select is kind of your RSVP. And then I have a local bakery make them, and then we pick them up and bring them here. And I have people in my home on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving for a little gathering while they come pick up their pie. Other than that, it's when I do send a note, a lot of times it's let's catch up sometime soon and get together. And so then that turns into a coffee or a lunch or a happy hour and trying to get face to face. Personally, I have always believed that I'm best face to face. I got started when my kids were very little and I was walking them down the street to the elementary school, and then I would be working and I'd be dressed for work, and that starts conversations.
So lots of live flow with these people. We talked about your current listing volume right now. You have 2 listings that are 5 million and above. What do you do to prepare a $5 million listing for sale?
I tend to treat all of my properties the same. Photography is very important to me, so I want all of my photography to be consistent. So I have a photographer who I trust, and I help stage the home to make sure that it is something that a buyer can walk into and envision themselves living in the home to the best of its ability. Sellers don't always let me do that, but I do it as best as I can. And then we have our marketing materials. I have my brochures. Our office does a great job of marketing with us. And so with whether it's social media or advertising, I have contracts set up with the local Dallas Business Journal. I'm in there monthly. I'm in a People newspaper. It's a local newspaper. I'm in there that it goes out a few times a year. I try to do a full page or a spread ad in that. And so I have these tools that I'm offering to my clients to market their homes in order to maximize the exposure.
You mentioned several print mediums, 2 newspapers, a magazine. So you're doing that in addition to social media, and you're finding synergy between the two.
Yes. Dallas is a big print city. It's kind of weird. We have D Magazine, which I don't personally advertise in that, but that is the big social magazine, and like who's who or where you're supposed to go to dinner or lunch, or like what's the new spas are in Texas. And so I advertise in other magazines similar to that I feel that my network is looking at. And so I'm face forward with them. And so they see what I'm doing and knowing that I am working, and then I've got listings and solds and things are happening.
Right. Absolutely. We mentioned earlier that you work with Coach Lisa Connors, and you were for a while, several years, with another coaching program. Tell us how coaching has helped you and some differences that you now notice in your business after working with her.
I really feel like I can just be myself in my business. I'm able to set boundaries. Like, I do remember I had a client off of one of my magazines contact me about an ad that I'd posted a home on, and she isn't ready to buy, but I asked if I could put her on my email list, my weekly email list, and I did. Well, now I have another client that reached out that she had gotten my name from her to buy something with her son. And we were on spring break. It was hectic. She wanted my attention. And this mom emailed me and said, if I don't hear from you by 5:00, I'm going to have to find someone else because my son's very anxious to find something. It was Monday, and I had a Thursday buyer process Zoom call set up already once I was back from our spring break trip. I said, well, I'm not comfortable having my team show property if we don't have a buyer's rep in place. So could we do a Zoom call tomorrow morning? And I will make that time even though I'm in Mexico. And we did. So Ninja, in working with Lisa, like literally the month before, Lisa had said, you've got to set your boundaries. You're going to burn out. And having that in my head and having someone give me a deadline, I was like, no, hold on. I'm not putting my team out unless I know we're committed to each other and we've met. So it has enabled me to do that and set my boundaries, which is empowering. And it also shows that they are respecting my time as well, and that it's someone I would want to work with.
Absolutely. Whereas before, maybe you would have been quick to say yes and give in on that, but instead you set a really healthy boundary, and that ended up with you showing even more professionalism, and it all worked out.
Yes, it has.
Anything else that comes up for you with how coaching has helped you?
Tracking my business in a way that makes sense to me. I do love our business tracker and the weekly agenda. I purchased a Remarkable. I use it for my open houses and broker opens. I have agents sign in that way because I can never remember to grab an extra open house sheet. So it's in my Remarkable and people sign in that way. They all comment on it. Just having these things that streamline what I do in the systems that Ninja provides has definitely helped clarify what we provide to clients and the information, like going through a buyer process and learning who they are, going through a seller process and before you list, and letting them say, there's those 3 things, like you might decide to hire me, or we may decide we're not a fit. And being able to say these things empowers me and to be who I am and not be committed to the bottom line and worried that the bottom line may or may not happen. I can just move on and work with clients who I want to work with too.
It's that classic being detached from the outcome, and just focusing on the kind of people that you want to work with.
Yep.
Yeah. Jackie, you have a fun background in that your parents were each in real estate, different ways, but tell us about that and tell us how that impacted your career today.
I grew up in Naples, Florida, and my parents were custom home builders in Naples. My dad was a preferred builder in Pelican Bay, and we moved 8 times into a home he had built and my mom had helped design. And off of each of those homes, he would build custom homes off that spec home that we would be living in. And I can remember the plans being out on the dining room table and then tweaking them and moving bathrooms around or whatnot. And so I loved that part of it. And then I came to SMU and my mom followed, and she would remodel homes and flip them for profit. And so when I go in a house, based on the knowledge that I have, I'm moving walls, and it's a curse and a benefit all at the same time. But I can see what a home can be, and it's fun to try and think of ways to make it better. So that has all enabled me to, I think, be a better real estate agent too, because I can help clients see, like, here's built-in equity in this house. Like, you would just do these few things and you don't have to do them right now. Like, this is good bones, and obviously we're going to get an inspection to confirm that. But if we could get it for this price, and then in today, if you did this, it's going to be worth this in today's market, like, you're getting a great deal because our market is going up. And even if you're conservative, and if it goes up 2% a year, you're making a nice profit on your home every year. And so it was one of those things post-divorce. I was leasing and I bought a house and put all my money in the house and had no previous income on my own. And I thought, well, if worse comes to worse, I'm going to start real estate, but I can always sell the house because it's a hot market and it's a great neighborhood. So location definitely matters.
Definitely matters. Yeah, it's the power of real estate, right? Jackie, to wrap up, any advice that you would share with the Ninja Nation? Someone who has clients coming out of the woodwork, what would you share with the other ninjas?
If you haven't done an installation, do it for sure. If you're someone that likes to bounce ideas off of and you want to have a piece of accountability, I highly recommend coaching. I've been coached in one way or another for now 6 years. And I mean, be yourself. Let the ninja system work for you and don't let it overwhelm you, because you don't have to do all the Ninja 9. You know, the weekly agenda asks you every week, how well are you following the ninja system? And I probably would put a 2. Sometimes I might put a 7. All year, I'd probably say I did a 6 for last year. And I didn't follow it to the T, but I did follow it for the most part, and it will work.
Yeah, the system works when you work it, and you don't have to be perfect. That's a theme that keeps coming up, and I want people to really hear that. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to do something.
And I struggle with that. I want to be perfect. I have not been perfect this year with Ninja, but I will be because I know it works.
It totally works. Jackie, thank you so much. You gave us so many takeaways, so much value. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
It's our pleasure. Okay, everyone, it's Jackie Converse. She is in Dallas, Texas. You can find her online, and so that you can send her a handwritten note. And who knows, she may text you back, and who knows, maybe you'll end up having lunch or coffee together and get to know each other better. Jackie, thank you again. And thank you everyone so much. As always, we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Take care.
If you enjoyed this episode, visit us at theninjasellingpodcast.com to learn more about ninja selling classes and coaching to get you started or further your journey on the ninja path.
Thank you for joining us. Now go have an incredible day.